Howdy, howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again, and once again, the Coca-Cola 600 is a classic. What a crazy, crazy, crazy race. Ryan Blaney ends that winless streak and gets it done in a crown jewel event. Ryan Blaney, your 2023 Coke 600 champion in that beautiful body armor camo-looking car. Holy cow. You got to get the 124 race winner of that diecast. Hopefully it's got a bunch of confetti on it. They also have that in the 164 in the clean, just standard release. I believe it actually came out a few weeks ago, so make sure to go get those at Circle B Diecast. You can pre-order that race win. Hopefully a 164 gets offered, and of course you could save on shipping with that promo code DIECASTbuffet for any orders $30 or more. So much to talk about with this Coke 600. They still have the Xfinity race to finish. One of the wildest weekends I've ever seen at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Holy cow. Wow. So the Coke 600 gets rained out from Sunday, which is unfortunate. The Indy 500 was amazing. They run it Monday. They run like 60-something laps in the Xfinity race. They say, okay, no, stop. We're going to wait like 4 hours and we're going to start the Coke 600. I'm like, what? They're gonna partially put one race on the back burner and then put the other one out there. They run the whole Coke 600 with a minimal amount of rain delay, and then it is a barn burner, guys. These next gen cars are perfect for Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's really a shame they don't have two oval races here, man. The battle of attrition, the tire fall off, the three groove racing, the beating and banging, the controversy. We're going to get to that Chase Elliott controversy because let me tell you, I'm going to have an opinion not a lot of Chase Elliott fans are going to like. Wow. It was just an unbelievable Coke 600, just like last year, a chaotic, fun-filled race. It felt old school. It felt new school. It's weird. It's like 37 laps to go, but it looks like the Coke 600 just started because the sun's going down, right? This was a throwback of throwbacks. Think about it. We ran the Darlington throwback race. We ran North Wilkesboro, which is like the greatest throwback ever. And then they have a daytime Coke 600, which the last time they've had a full, daytime Coke 600, I want to say was the early 1990s. Could be mistaken on that. So my point is that if you're an old school NASCAR fan, the month of May has been incredible because of so much throwbacks. And then Ryan Blaney ends that winless streak. Penske wins the Indy 500 and the Coke 600 in the same year. What a crazy, crazy race, man. I mean, you had Larson up there. You had Kyle Busch. You had Kevin Harvick. You even had Chase Elliott at moments. You had Tyler Reddick. I mean, the amount of drivers that had an opportunity to win this race, and then, of course, Byron, and I'm probably missing like 5 other drivers. The amount of parity. If it was up to me, guys, we would have 2 races at Charlotte on the oval. And comparing how bad the Roval was last year, or I should say underwhelming, I really wish they would just run the oval instead of the Roval in the playoffs. I'm just going to keep it 100% honest with you. Charlotte has proven it is probably the best racetrack for the next-gen car, if not Kansas. I'm just keeping it real. It is so much fun. I wish we had another oval race here. It's just, the racing is fantastic. And what's really sad is we're going to go to Gateway next weekend, or technically this weekend, and the racing's probably going to be very long green flag runs, minimal contact. It's probably going to be an oversized Richmond, and there's going to be a lot of fans saying it's boring. I'm just going to keep it real. Who knows? Maybe it's a barn burner. Maybe there'll be fisticuffs. Maybe Amarola versus the 23 car of Bubba. Who knows? How did that even start? How do you tick off Eric Almirola? Like, what the biff? Oh, boy. Elephant in the room. Chase Elliott dumping Denny Hamlin. Oh, boy. Look, I've been watching Chase Elliott since like 2013. This by far was the dumbest move he's ever made in his career. I've never seen Chase Elliott drive like that, and I'm a huge Chase Elliott fan. I mean, my shirt, every video I do usually for these reactions is in a Chase Elliott shirt. I'm a huge fan of him, right? Let me tell you, what he did was absolutely uncalled for. You cannot dump a guy on the straightaway. I don't care if he uses you up. I don't care if he shoots you the bird. You cannot dump a car on the straightaway into traffic. That is like, no, you cannot do that. That is, I don't even think Chastain really does that. He usually just dumps you and you wreck in the corner. But it's the most dangerous way to wreck someone in stock car racing. And he wrecked himself in the process. Every single NASCAR driver, the Hall of Famers to busts, will all agree on one thing just about. The number one rule of stock car racing: learn how to wreck someone without wrecking yourself. He had a top 5 car with no damage on it, and he just throws it away. Like, how stupid can you be, man? Come on. And you look at the speed that Larson had and then Byron had. Chase could have won this race easily. No doubt about it. Bowman, I think he was still getting back in the use of things. I think if he didn't have that injury, Bowman would have been up there up front. Hendrick is really good at these 1.5 miles, especially this year. It was the biggest just bonehead move I have ever seen Chase do. And it's so uncharacteristic to how his driving style is, because he's taken a lot of crap from a lot of drivers and he doesn't do anything. They just use him up on the track, they bump him, they dump him. He might say something in an interview, he might flip him off, but he never retaliates much. The last time I could truly remember Chase Elliott retaliating could maybe be the Kevin Harvick-Bristol incident, maybe at the Roval that year, or you could go back to Denny Hamlin back in 2017 when he cut his tire down at Phoenix to end his championship. Chase Elliott usually doesn't wreck a lot of people. I'm just going to keep it real. This was stupid. And Hamlin, I'm not even a Hamlin fan. But I have to defend him on this. Hamlin he ran him up, but he has no right to get wrecked like that. Like, if you're going to spin him out, just do it on the back straightaway. They'll spin, they'll lock it up, they'll blow their tires out, they won't hit the inside wall. Big deal. You made your point, move on. Dumping them on the straightaway the same way the 23 car dumped Larson last year is a way guys get hurt, and it's extremely disrespectful. And I got to be honest with you. I mean, this might be super unpopular, but I'm just going to go with this. If the rules have not changed for a driver wrecking another driver, simpler, like basically the Las Vegas situation between Larson and Bubba, if the rules have not changed since then, and they're the exact same as of present day, Chase does not, he has to be suspended one race. I'm just going to keep it real. If you wreck a driver on the straightaway, just straight hooking him, that is the most dangerous way to wreck someone, because that car comes along and another car hits him, the car just spins and it gets hit and hit. Go back and watch some of the wrecks at Charlotte back in the early 2000s, back in the 90s, whether it's ARCA or Busch Series or trucks or whatever. Some of the worst racing accidents in NASCAR history have happened on the front straightaway at Charlotte Motor Speedway. If you wreck someone and you crash there, the way the cars come off the corner, I'm just saying, that's how you hurt people. You can't do that. You just can't do it. If the rules are the same as they were last year, if they didn't rewrite them or add more clarification to them, the 9-car driver, Chase Elliott, deserves to be suspended. Just one race, the same thing the 23 got last year. That's just my honest opinion. Keep it fair. Now, if the rules have changed, maybe they said, okay, it's a $500,000 fine or $200,000, whatever it is. If they change it, that's different. But if they are exactly the same as last year, I do believe, well, my favorite driver deserves to be suspended. Just one race. The same thing the 23 got. Will that happen? I know Fox doesn't want it to happen because they probably saw how low the ratings were when Elliott wasn't in the car. So you have, like 20%, maybe 30% possibly of all the fans who watch each Sunday are Hendrick fans or specifically Chase Elliott fans or even Bill Elliott fans. I don't know if they want to miss that at Gateway. Who knows? I'm just saying, you got to be consistent. Will they be consistent? Your guess is good as mine. But from what I've seen, that was a deliberate hook. I just, it's uncalled for. It's just uncalled for. You cannot hook someone. I don't care if he hits you. Look what happened to Larson last year. If Larson got hooked in a Gen 4 car like that, there's probably a good chance he would have missed a couple races because of injury. Because trust me, you can go back and watch some of the worst crashes in NASCAR history. They happen on the front stretch at 1.5 miles. Just saying. But that's my opinion. I want to know what y'all think. What do y'all think? Does Chase deserve to be suspended? Or is it just a monetary fine? A massive points penalty? I have no idea what they're going to do. But in my opinion, if the rules are exactly the same as last year, they have not updated because they have a tendency to change the rules without telling anyone. Like, you actually have to probably go online and Google the rule book for the year to figure out. Assuming it's the same, I do think he needs to be suspended. Just one race, same thing, the 23 car. But, I mean, Hamlin, he used him up, but he doesn't deserve to get dumped like that. regardless, what a great Coca-Cola 600. Controversy, crashes and bashes, part failures. This is what the Coke 600 needs to be. It needs this. For years, it has felt so plain, right? Long green flag runs. Oh, a little spin out here. Hardly any crashes. No controversy. Last year was a barn burner. This year, it was a barn burner. I loved it. I loved it. Huge congratulations to Ryan Blaney. Man, it's such a shame. Every time we go back to this weekend, because the racing is always so good at Indy, and then you're like, I gotta wait all year to watch another Indy 500 because they don't have any other speedway races the rest of the year. So you're like, and then you watch the Coke 600 and it's a barn burner. It's an endurance race with so much chaos and everything going around, and then you're like, I gotta wait all year to see this again. I will give them a lot of credit. They didn't call the Xfinity race early or make some rule up saying we're just going to cancel it because of logistics for Portland. They did the right thing. They said, look, we're going to run it later. I'm assuming they won't have any weather that affects it. Who knows? But they made the right call. They got the whole Coke 600 in. It rained apparently throughout the night last night, so even if they would have waited, it still wouldn't have happened. So I think they made the most of a very crappy situation. And the missed situation they had at the Xfinity, or the first half of the Xfinity race, first quarter of it, on Monday morning, which is today of the video. Very similar to what happened at Texas 2020. And I was in the grandstands. I was the Joe Schmo that waited 8 hours for the mist to stop at Texas Motor Speedway. The 2020 event that everybody knows. I was there. Trust me, as a fan who was 7 hours away from my home, it sucked because you couldn't just go back to your house and be like, okay, I'll show up again. No, if you go home, there's no turning back. So what do? You sit there and you wait, and you just hear the jet dryers just scorching your ears as they make lap after lap after lap. And the worst part about it, guys, when you're a fan at a racetrack and they have a massive rain delay, they're milking the TV ratings. They know deep down inside they have some of the best weather technology available, probably stuff airports use, where they have to be crystal clear. They cannot afford to have a oopsie-doo in the weather. They know if they're going to race or not. They have plenty of experience. They have experts on this. They have a real high percentage chance of accurately predicting if they're going to race today or not. What they do is they drag it out so the TV company can make their money, so the commercials don't lose out on their investment. They have shareholders. They have a lot of people they have to pay the bills for. So usually they just drag it out, and inevitably the fans really get stuck because it's like, do you go home? Do you stay? If you go home, you miss the race. If you stay, you waste your time. What do? You know what I'm saying? So it's a real unfortunate situation, but I do think they made the most of it. They're in the Xfinity very early. They got the Coke 600 in. So great job to everybody driving the track. I think they did a very good job there, but I do wish they would be a little bit more transparent the next time we have a massive rain delay. But that's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I will say, though, I was very impressed how well the Xfinity cars were able to race in the mist. The cameras don't do it justice, because when you're sitting in the grandstands, you feel raindrops, and they're still turning laps, which they did do that at Texas 2020. I felt the raindrops, or the mist, in the grandstands, and they were still turning laps. Yes, they were loose and slipping and sliding, but I do think in the future, there is a chance of rain racing at 1.5 miles. I could get into the whole theory and idea that it could work, but it's a long ways from now. But I do think far in the future, yes, we will have rain racing at the 1.5 miles, because if you can do it in the mist, who knows? Who knows? Technology is always changing, brother. That's all for now. I'm fired up. What a great race. Even though all my drivers wrecked out, pretty much. What a great race. Have a great one, everybody. God bless. Diecastbuffet.